Hey, everybody, welcome back to EXP Family Tree Wednesday Mastermind. And I know that there's literally thousands of you that watch the live stream over time as well, because we do live stream these every single week. So grateful for the guests, grateful for those of you that attend. Without further ado, I want to go ahead and jump into today's session. We're going to dive into a topic that everybody's interested in and trying to keep up with, as is all the things technology, and that is AI. And I had the pleasure of meeting Chris, who is on the call here with us, who is going to train us today on workplace. And this is the first time we've actually met each other face to face on Zoom, which is always cool. And I've heard great things about your training. I see your passion behind it. Thank you for reaching out. Thanks for offering to spend some time with us here in EXP Family Tree. So without further ado, Chris, can you give us a little bit of your background? Tell us a little bit about you. Tell us how you got into learning so much about AI, and then what you're going to tell us about today.
All right, it's awesome meeting you on Zoom, and I look forward to seeing you in Vegas in less than a month. Can you believe it?
Right. Yes.
Yeah, it's coming quick. I've been talking about AI for months now. EXP is standing up an AI council, the EXP AI Council. Did you know that? We're just in the formation stages. We're working with management, Russ Lagan and Michael Valdez. So they're kind of our corporate sponsors for this. And Richard Jansen out of Colorado is the co-chair of the EXP AI Council with me. Backing up just a smidge, I have a huge tech background. I mean, when I was in college, back when we, still use papyrus and styluses and stuff, I mean, no, seriously, we used like an HP 3000 mainframe. It was in its own little room. It was the size of a large freezer, like you keep in, your deer. You're up in Coeur d'Alene, so you probably have deer, right? So you put your whole deer into the freezer. It was like that. And we had 5 megabyte hard drives. And the 5 megabyte hard drives, they had to stay in a cool room, and they were the size of your washing machine. Seriously, 5 megabytes. And that was huge back in 1980, okay? When I was in college. So I'm 62, I'm not ashamed of that. But so I've been involved in computers for a long time. It was the first person at my university to get permission from the English department to actually write my papers and turn them in printed on the computer, line printer. And I don't know if you guys remember, look at the A in agent here on the screen. I mean, next to the A, the G, and you see how the tail of the G drops down below the line? That's called a lowercase descender. And back in the days, that G would be moved up a little bit because you couldn't go below the line. And so that's why I had to get special permission from the English chair to be able to do my papers on the printer. So it's kind of fun. So I go way back. Back in the 80s, I started writing for a computer magazine. So I've written, a few hundred articles that I was paid to write on about computers. Does anyone remember Windows Magazine? Kind of like PC Magazine. There was the Windows Magazine when Windows came out. I actually wrote some group reviews for them on accounting software. I wrote 3 books on computers and technology that were published by a company that was bought by Random House. So that's just a little bit about me and technology. There's a lot more, but we don't need to get into that. But today, I'm so excited to share what I think are some super secret things that people aren't necessarily talking about AI. So this is going to be great. And if I can figure out, now I'm using PowerPoint instead of Google Slides, I got to figure out how this works. All right, so today I want to talk about tactics versus strategies. Again, I think we all know that strategies are like the big picture. So Carrie wants to make $1 million in GCI this year, and that's her strategy, is to get there, right? Okay, but the tactics are, how am I going to do that? Okay, number one, Carrie's going to think, I'm going to partner with Chris Vogt because he's a commercial guy and I haven't been doing any commercial, and commercial projects are huge. And so I'm going to partner with Chris, and that's going to help me get to $1 million in GCI. Do you like that plan, Carrie? Yes. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, we got to get together and talk about that. All right, so that's tactics and strategies. So today we're going to be talking about 5 top tactics that I think you need to know today, September 6th, 2023, to be successful and not be stressed, but be blessed in AI. Okay. All right. So my friend, Secret Squirrel, because I'm part of the Secret Squirrel Society. I don't know if you know about us. We're kind of under the covers, you know. And so my friend, Secret Squirrel, I made him on ClipDrop. Okay. This is an AI generated image that I did specifically for this presentation. So use ClipDrop. It's very cool. I went through like, I don't know, a dozen or 2 dozen images and had a lot of fun creating Secret Squirrel. I should probably name him. And he has a secret formula that you need to know. The first thing is everyone has something that makes them exceptional. Matthew in Ventura, I know, has something that makes him exceptional. And I'm trying to see if there's a glint of a smile under that mustache there. Ah, there we go. Okay, good. All right. So Matthew is exceptional. I don't know what his claim to fame and what makes him exceptional, but he needs to figure that out. If he doesn't, I'm pretty sure Matthew knows what his claim to fame is. He knows what makes him exceptional. And that's the first thing, is you need to know, why are you different than the 4 million other real estate agents across the United States? Back in the 80s, when I got out of college, 1983, 40 years ago, all right, 40 years ago, I graduated from college, and there was this big book out, and it was talking about technology and how technology was exploding and revolutionizing life. The IBM PC was just introduced when I graduated from college, okay? It was a whole big thing about high tech versus high touch. And so for 40 years, we've been talking about high tech versus high touch. And so this is the same thing over again. It's just 40 verses later, all right? The song hasn't changed. The people who figure out what it is that makes them great, those are the people that are able to reach out and make connections, and technology is simply the enhancer, okay? So don't look at too many people. They look at technology as being the thing that's going to be their magic fairy dust. They just got to sprinkle it on and they don't have to do anything, and their beans grow and they get to go up to the beanstalk and be Jack, right? Meet, what was it, a princess or something that was up there? I don't remember the story. All right, so I want you to be an AI empowered super agent by combining you with technology. So how do we do that? You have to accentuate your strengths. Figure out what it is that you do and that you can use AI to help you be better. So just a little bit about me. I know we did kind of a little tech intro, but I am Christopher Vogt. Call me Chris. I'm the managing director of the Vogt Real Estate Group at eXp Realty. I just moved from eXp Commercial in August, not even a month ago, because as an eXp Realty agent, I can collaborate with agents across the United States. We work with your managing broker and we help you because I'm with the same brokerage. Before I went to eXp Commercial, I had a team. From what I understand, we were the largest commercial team at eXp Realty. We had agents, and these are not rev share group. This is team members, okay, across 9 states. And so if you know anyone who is interested in commercial real estate, they still want to do residential, they want to stay at eXp Realty, I'd love to talk to you and talk about how we can collaborate. And I'd love you to be on my team. All right, so I already mentioned I'm the co-chair, co-founder of the eXp AI Council. I did a radio talk show on technology for 6 years, every Saturday. Hello, this is Chris Vogt, your host of the Computer Connection, America's friendliest computer talk show. Had a lot of fun. We were actually the #1 rated live radio show by the Arbitrons in our time slot. I am part of the Realtors Commercial Alliance, which is the only association of realtors in California that is commercial only. We don't do any residential, we do commercial, but we have a lot of residential agents. And just last month, I was elected to be the president for 2024. So I'm excited to be the president of an association of realtors. All right, I was also on the Commercial Brokers Association board and the vice chair of the Commercial Brokers Association. I was one of the certified instructors for the Commercial Brokers Association. So anyhow, did a lot of interesting things. I retired from being an executive in the Silicon Valley to be home with my kids. When my kids grew up, I'm like trying to figure out, what am I going to do with my life? I need something exciting to fill my time because I hate golf. Okay, seriously, those of you who like golf, more power to you, but I am not a golfer. So I needed something to do, and EXP found me. I didn't find it. Here we are 6 years later, just had my 6th anniversary with EXP Realty. So very excited. My cell phone, email address are down there. You can find me on Workplace. Let's talk about tactics. Top tactic number 2. And I use AI. I love for everyone to put in the chat, do you use AI? All right. So 1, I just like to know yes or no. And if yes, what is your favorite AI tool? And I've got 2 monitors here. So if you see me looking up in the air, it's because I'm checking out the chat on my other monitor. And ChatGPT is Diana's go-to. Matthew's like, what is AI? So Neil uses it for text response, ChatGPT, Snapchat AI. Yes, yes. Okay, so those of you who are say you are not using AI, you are. I'm pretty sure everyone has one of these. Anytime you use Google search or even your texting application, I use my text and it's automatically predicting what my next word's going to be, or how to finish typing the word that I'm using. That's artificial intelligence. Yeah, I bet there's no one on this call who is not a Facebook user, right? Okay, so if you use Facebook, the algorithm that helps you connect with other people and shares your post or doesn't share your post, that's all artificial intelligence. So you've been infused with artificial intelligence for probably 20 years and didn't even realize it. So AI helped me come up with this. I was like, AI, I need to know, I need an A, B, C, D, E. I need words that go together to give me the concept of always be continuing diligent education. So that's really important. Lifelong learners. All right, Diana, are you getting a kick out of this? You're smiling over there. I love the smile. Okay, nice white teeth. Great. All right, so always be continuing diligent education. So those of you who are with EXP and on Workplace, I would invite you to join AI Adventures. It's a workplace group specifically for artificial intelligence. Now, I would love more participation in the group. I would love to have you, Carrie, Matthew, Tracy, Jennifer, Diana, and everyone else to join the group and share what you're doing, what your questions are. Hopefully when things slow down a little bit, do things ever slow down? I'm going to have more time to do some more stuff in this group. All right. And especially with the EXP AI Council, where this is going to be our hub where we're going to be disseminating information. So if you want to have input into the council, if you're interested in being on the council, we're looking for people who are active in AI and who have some expertise to share wisdom to be part of the council. So let us know. Join the group. As of last night, we had 984 members. Now, this is really important. Have you ever been added to a workplace group and you didn't ask to be? Ha. Yes, everyone. I have not added one single person, not one. If someone is interested, I say, you have to click join. I am not going to click join for you. Organic growth, 984 people. So that's kind of cool. Number 2, who's on LinkedIn? Anyone on LinkedIn? Okay, a couple of you. Please take a look at my LinkedIn newsletter. I launched this thing in March of this year, March 13th. And as of last night, 2,105 subscribers. I can't believe how fast this has grown. And I have not really tried very hard to do this. And it doesn't say here, but I've only published like 11 articles or something like that. So LinkedIn is pretty cool. And the algorithm recently, they like people to do newsletters because it's a new thing. So go try it if you haven't tried it. YouTube. Anyone on YouTube? On Valentine's Day, I didn't have anything better to do. Well, I mean, my wife was busy doing something. My wife and I actually celebrated our 40th wedding anniversary in March of this year. Okay. We did it at the Cabo Mastermind in, with Brent Gove and the big group down there in Cabo. So that was a lot of fun. But Valentine's Day, she was off doing something. And so I'm like, I've got to do this, just get off my duff and got to launch my YouTube channel. So I did. And as of last night, I've published 18 videos and 318 subscribers. I would love for you to join me, because not only do we talk about artificial intelligence, you can see here a month ago, this presentation, old version, because it's always updating, was on here. And we also have, if you're interested in commercial real estate, demystifying environmental issues in commercial real estate, SBA lending, all kinds of fun stuff. Please join us on YouTube. Top tactic number 2 in review is step-by-step learning. Always be learning. Take little bites. You don't have to eat the whole elephant in one sitting, okay? Just do a little bit, nibble at that puppy. And okay, everyone grab your phones. Okay, everyone have your phone? I want you to text yourself. That's how I do things. I text myself, because then I've always got my notes with me, that you want to download the Bing app. Microsoft Bing, kind of Google's a little competitor thing. Yeah, before like February, I never use Bing. I'm like, I don't want to use Bing. I Google stuff. But Microsoft integrated ChatGPT 4 for free into Bing. And when you go to Bing on your phone, you tap the little thing and you talk to it. You tell Bing what you want, and Bing gives you a written answer, and then it reads the answer back to you. So this is very cool. You should be using Bing AI. It's my favorite, quick little ask questions thing. Okay, my wife is studying for her real estate exam. All right, now this is a whole new topic. We don't have time to do this today, but she has been like, 40 years of marriage, right? She did her Series 7 with me back in the 80s. All right. And she's like, Chris, I don't care what you do in the future. I am never going to take another exam for your profession. But she's studying for her real estate license right now. All right. And so the other day she's like, Chris, this appraisal stuff is driving me nuts, and there's not enough information about it. I can't find what I need. And I'm like, so have you tried using artificial intelligence? No, that's like kind of asking a Luddite if they've used artificial intelligence. You guys know what Luddites are? Okay, if not, you should Google it. Oh, no, Bing AI it. What's a Luddite? Luddite. Okay, they're anti-tech. No, she's not anti-tech. She's just anti-AI. And she's like, no, of course not. So I pull up Bing AI, I talk to it, and I ask it for YouTube training videos for taking the appraisal part of the test to get your real estate license. And it popped up immediately with a couple of great things. And she's like, oh, wow. So this actually is cool, huh? Personal story. Hope you don't mind me getting excited about that. So top tactic number 3. Am I late to the party? So this is fascinating. I put this little red highlight here around the 24 because of you as adults who have heard of ChatGPT, only 24% have actually used it. Now, I don't know about you, but I tend to hang out with people and I'm in a silo. All right. Are you in a silo? And everyone in my silo is like AI connected. They're all using different AI tools. And so when I saw this, it's like and this is July 26th. So this isn't very long ago. All right. This isn't like, oh, let's go back to Valentine's Day again. No, this is July 26th, just over a month ago, only 24%. All right. And you can see that that's kind of fun. And then what industries will see the most or least exposure to AI? Look at this. The third down from the top, I put the little red box around real estate. That's us. We're going to be impacted. So you need to get exposed if you're not exposed. That's why I congratulate each one of you who are here today for taking the time to get some exposure. All right. So back in the 80s, when I was writing computer technology stuff, there was something called the Gartner Group. And the Gartner Group came out with something called the Gartner Hype Cycle. And this is, there's a trigger, AI. Does anyone know? Okay, put it in the chat. When do you think AI was first coined as a term or officially known as something? Give me a year. Come on, I want to see some guesses here. 2012 from Alexa. Okay, you guys are too bashful. Come on, put some dates up here. I want to see 2008 from Diana. Okay, you're getting closer than 2012, but 2002. Okay, you're still almost 40 years too soon. Okay, it was 1954 or 1956. I don't remember exactly. I wasn't there. I wasn't born yet. But at Dartmouth, they had a computer technology conference, and the term artificial intelligence, oh, Al Gore invented it. Yeah, that's good. When he invented the internet. Perfect. Okay, so Dartmouth, that's when it first happened. So AI has been around for a long time. You guys have been using it for years, but all of a sudden there was a trigger when ChatGPT came out, and it was announced in November, but I didn't even hear about it until like late January or February. And I'm fairly well connected in technology too. And so all of a sudden it's everywhere, at least in our silos. And so there's this peak of inflated expectations. I launched that AI adventures group on Workplace in like March, and we grew huge fast. And then there was just kind of like this peak of interest, and there was people interacting in the group and stuff, and people were liking the post, and people were posting things. And then all of a sudden it's like interest waned. It dropped off because people are like, there's a lot of hype, but where's the beef, right? Remember the Wendy's commercial, where's the beef? And so I don't know where we're at, but we're somewhere on this down slope, I think. All right, I don't think we've hit the trough yet, but it's coming. And sometime, I'm just guessing, maybe the end of the year, we're going to start seeing AI actually having a real impact on our daily lives. And we're going to start seeing some productivity gains from it. All right, not just give me a recipe, or I need a workout program or something, but actually real productivity gains. That's what I'm looking for. All right, come on, slide advance. There we go. So look at this. OpenAI, ChatGPT, monthly website visits. They peaked out in May and they're going down. So this will be an interesting chart to see when the trough hits the bottom and starts going back up again. All right. You guys finding this interesting so far? Anything good? Okay, a couple people are there with me. Perfect. So top tactic number 3, don't stress, because the party is just getting started. You're an early adopter. And sometimes, when you get to the party and just a few people are there and you're like, hey, where's everyone? And then it's like an hour later, everyone comes trooping in the door, and then the party really gets going. But you already have scoped it all out. You know where the best hors d'oeuvres are. You've already visited the mini bar or whatever. I don't drink, but so I went and got a Dr. Pepper, and we know the lay of the land. So we're ready to party hardy. All right. So top tactic number 4. By the way, do you like these little chess things that I'm doing with the tactics? I created those with artificial intelligence specifically for this presentation. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And do you mind if I share a pet peeve with you? Is that okay? People say that they're doing like, oh, I did 50 emails in 9 seconds. Really? Yeah. But how valuable are those emails? How much time are you going to actually take that email and send it to someone without reading it? And then you read it and you're like, well, that's not exactly what I wanted to say. And then you got to revise it. No, don't get me wrong. AI is really important. Okay. And it gives you a lever. It gives you a boost. All right. But it's not the end all. What is it? What's the saying? It's not the end of things. It's not the end all be all or whatever. Okay, I'm going to have to Google that or AI it and figure out what that really means. All right, so AI empowers humans to scale. That's what I want to talk about. Scaling. We all know about scaling. And I kind of came up with this out of AI. I asked AI to give me a definition. Then we massaged it a little bit together. In business, it's the ability to grow bigger and better without losing quality or efficiency. This includes having the right people, processes, and tech in place to increase revenue faster than expenses. Excellent execution includes freeing the owner's time so they can pursue their dreams and vision. That's why I'm wearing my orange fishing shirt. I don't fish, but it's my leisure shirt and it's comfortable. So that's why I'm using that today, because I want to scale. I want more free time, so I don't have to spend as much time, talking business. So here's a couple of tools. The first one, Opus Clip. Have you guys seen Opus Clip yet? It's kind of cool. See down here in the bottom left, it says drop a YouTube link. So you can upload a video and get a YouTube link. And so I did, remember that demystifying environmental issues, the one that I showed you on my screen there? So I did that and it came up and it analyzed it. It said, oh, look, we got an hour and 2 minutes and it's going to take 12 minutes to process this thing. And we're 10% there and I can safely leave the page because they're going to send me an email when it's done. So they did. They sent me an email. I opened the email, clicked on the link, and it gave me this these clips. They're all done by artificial intelligence. All right. So the clip, they even give it a title. All right. Shocking. Oh, Marvin, dude, you actually are the person that first introduced me to Opus Pro. All right. So thank you for commenting there in chat. I love it. Okay. So see, I got to give credit where credit's due. Marvin rocks. And so here it is. And this is really cool. It gives you a tagline, a header. Okay. Something that you can put out there. And then it tells you why this is a good clip. And it gives you a score, a virality score on what's the probability of it going viral. And then it gives you the transcript of what's being said during the video. All right. So there, that's one thing that you should use. Bing AI. All right. We already went through this on the phone, the Bing app, but this is using Edge. All right. Side trip here. How many of you know about Chrome extensions? Does anyone know what Chrome extensions are? All right. Chrome extensions are things that you can add into your browser to enhance your browser tools. But how many of you knew that if you're using Microsoft Edge, that you can go to the Chrome extension store and those same extensions work in Edge? Did you know that? Yeah, it's kind of cool. And so you can go into Edge and you can get Chrome extensions. All right. There's too much to talk about here. So anyhow, this is not an extension. That was just a side note. I'm a little bit ADHD. So I did this back in July 29th. And I said, no, this is just in the regular Bing chat. I didn't go to the Bing image generator. I just did this in chat. Okay. And I said, please generate an image, photorealistic, 16:9, commercial real estate agent in the city. All right. Do you see any 16:9 things there? No, they're all square. They're not widescreen. All right. So it didn't do that part, but it did give me some commercial real estate agents in the city. And, the whole tech woke thing. See the guys wearing his mask there. All right. I think masks, they're out of style. All right. So, but they got some interesting images, but still look at this guy's cheeks. See the guy in the middle is like Secret Squirrel was his mom or something. I don't know. But they're kind of cool images. And then what else? Let's see. I did this. Come on. There we go. So then 1 month later, right? So there was from June 29 to July 31st. And I used the same prompt. It still didn't do the widescreen thing. But I think the images, they're still pretty cool. They look pretty good, don't you think? Okay. Although I wonder, what has she got in her hand? And one of her fingernails is blue. And her fingers are kind of still weird. All right. So this isn't perfect, but it's getting better. And I didn't have time to go do this again at the end of August. So, we can just guess that it's actually getting better. All right. And then I did it in ClipDrop. remember Secret Squirrel was created in ClipDrop? So that was done using Stable Diffusion XL 0.9. Anytime you see a software version that's less than 1, it means it's in beta testing. If it's 1.0 or better, then it's out of beta and it's ready for prime time. Same thing. All right. And it gave me, now this was nice because it actually gave me, you know, men and women. All right. There are some women in commercial real estate. And I kind of like those images. These are actually really good images. Wouldn't you agree? All right. And then, come on. And then I found there's something called Dream Studio. Now, Dream Studio, they let you generate like just a few images and then they want you to pay for a subscription. The other tools I was talking to you about, they're free. You don't have to pay for them. All right. But this gives you some more controls. And so here you can see under settings, it actually let me choose 16:9. And it does, you know, it's got that little slider so that you can choose your aspect ratio. And it also has a little slider so you can choose how many images to create. So that was pretty cool. So that did that. So there's just a couple of ideas of things that you can do. I like those images. So tactic number 4, find useful tools. All right, I did not have time to add this to the presentation, but does anyone use Gmail? Anyone use Google Sheets? Anyone use Google Slides? Did you know that Google Workspace, which Workspace is like the all-encompassing name for the Google tools, it now includes artificial intelligence. You can use it for free. All right. Microsoft announced back when everyone was doing all the hype stuff, when the curve was going up, that they were going to add Copilot to Microsoft 365, which is the new name for Microsoft Office. And then like last month, so I actually bought 365 because I wanted that. And then last month they're like, yeah, you can get Copilot, but it's going to cost you $30 a month. I'm like, what? This is ridiculous. Google Workspace. Google may be a little bit behind ChatGPT, which is what Microsoft is using in their products because Microsoft invested $10 billion in them back in like February of this year. But anyhow, it's okay. So use the tools. Tactic number 5. Haha. Anyone ever been to Starbucks? Know exactly what you want, and then you have to ask for it. Okay. How many? I am not a coffee drinker, so I go to Starbucks. I'm like, I want one of those blended coffee things with ice. This is kind of like a Slurpee. All right. I don't know what it's called. What is it? A frappe or something like that? You know, it's like, I want a large. What do you mean? Is it a venti or a grande or I don't know. You know, it's just give me the big one. Okay. I like that stuff. And put extra crack whipped cream on it because that whipped cream is too awesome. I can't get enough of that. So know exactly what you want. So when you go to Starbucks, you got to tell them what you want. Okay. If you say, hey, I want a coffee. It's like going to Baskin Robbins and saying, of the 31 flavors, give me a vanilla, right? Why do we want to do that? I don't know. So you got to know what you want and then you got to ask for it. So this is, yeah. So, and no baseball either, okay? I'm a geek, I'm not an athlete, but I do like my Dr. Pepper. Okay, so ask AI better questions. This is super critical. You have to learn to ask questions and you have to learn to ask them properly so that AI will do what you want it to do. Anyone have kids? Okay, if you have kids, you know, just what are the ages of your kids? Come on, put it in chat for me. I want to see how old your kids are. This is going to be fun. So I actually have grand twins. They just turned 5 in May. And so having a conversation with them and trying to get them to do what I want them to do, it's like impossible. And that's the way it is with AI. You got to figure out how to coax AI. All right. See, do you want another tangent here? Is that okay? Be nice to your AI. No, seriously, be nice to it. You know, it's like say thank you, say please, say hope you're having a good day. No, really, I do that. And okay, at first I wasn't doing that and AI would hang up on me. No, seriously. It'd be like, give me a message. Sorry, we're done with this conversation. I'm like, what did I do? And then I'm like, hold it. What if I'm nice to it? And now it doesn't hang up on me. It says, hope you're having a great day. Is there anything else I can do for you, Chris? Really, it works. All right. So asking better questions is it's a common way of saying prompt engineering. Okay. Everyone should become a secret prompt engineer. All right. So what is prompt engineering? All right. This is tactic 5. This is our last one. What time is it? I'm so excited. I don't even know what time it is. Oh, we only got 5 minutes. We can do this. Okay. Define who your AI expert is. All right. Okay. So when you're talking to ChatGPT, you're talking to Claude. Did you know about Claude? Claude is free. And in some things, it's actually better than ChatGPT. All right. So, and if you want free ChatGPT 4, just use Bing AI. It's there. Okay. It's free. Or Perplexity. Anyone heard of Perplexity yet? Perplexity. And they got a Chrome extension that you can use in Edge. And that's ChatGPT 4. And I think it has Claude and some of the other things in it too. So, thanks guys for putting the age of your kids. Man, I could be grandparents to all your kids. So that means I could probably be your dad. All right, so come buy dad a drink, not a coffee, but a Dr. Pepper or something when you see me at EXPCon, okay? All right, so what do I mean by define your AI expert? All right, so the other day, I needed to write a letter of engagement for a client, okay? Didn't call a paralegal. I went into ChatGPT, the free version. I don't pay for it. And I said, I need a letter of engagement. So it spits out a letter of engagement. It was not what I wanted. Okay. And so before I did that, I said, act as a paralegal or an attorney that specializes in business law. You are a business law expert. You write legal contracts, and I need a letter of engagement. And then I gave it some stuff, some parameters, some idea of what it was I was looking for. But the first thing is define who you want. All right. If you're, everyone says, oh, use ChatGPT to do your social media schedule. And they're like, yeah, okay, that's good. That's a good thing. But how many, I was listening to some experts the other day. Tell ChatGPT that they're an expert realtor planning out your social media schedule. I'm like, no, I don't want a realtor to plan my social media schedule. Come on, I want an expert in social media. I want an expert social media manager that's what they do. I don't want to talk to my friendly neighborhood realtor and have them help me. No, I want an expert. So define who your expert is. If you're doing something, if you're writing copy, ask for a copy editor, ask for a copywriter. Have them do it for you. You are a copywriter writing copy. All right. 2, describe your audience. You want to write this thing. Who's it for? Okay. So you're doing a social media schedule and you're in the luxury market. You're going to have a different social media schedule than someone that's selling mobile homes, right? You're going to have a different social media schedule than I am selling commercial real estate. So describe who your audience is. My audience is 55 years old. They have $1 million in savings that they want to spend and invest into commercial real estate. That's who I want to hit. They have a college degree, but I want to talk to them as though they have a high school education. Okay. I don't want to talk over their head. I want to talk, with them, not over them. Okay. So you got to describe these things. You got to tell about yourself. Who are you? Okay. Being the president-elect of the Realtors Commercial Alliance of Orange County, California, do you think I want to talk like I'm from Bozeman, Montana? Or do I want to talk like someone from Newport Beach or Laguna Beach? So you got to describe yourself. Who are you? Okay, I'm 62 years old. I've got over 40 years of commercial real estate experience. I do this, and that. this is who I am so that you know how to depict me when you are representing me, right? Detail the tone. We already kind of talked about this a little bit, all right? A lot of times, if you're trying to figure something out, hey, ChatGPT, I need an answer for this and give me the explanation so that my 5th grader could understand it, all right? You know, you got to give the tone. I want this in a friendly tone. I want this in a professional tone. I want this to be coming from a psychiatrist. No, I don't really. But, you know, figure out what is the tone that you want to communicate in. And you got to disclose data. Disclose your data. This is really important. What is it that you know that ChatGPT should know so that it can give you a better answer? All right. Now, okay. See these things? Did you notice the alliteration? They all start with D. Yeah. So being AI last night, yeah, while I was putting this together, I'm like, I need D words that go with this. You know, I said, I need more D words that work with define or describe. And it gave me depict, detail, disclose, delineate your expected output. All right, now this is something that I do a lot of times is, let's say you're doing that social media account thing. It's like this, okay, when I'm writing a LinkedIn article, or I'm coming up with a new YouTube headline, right? I'm like, I want a YouTube headline that is 50 characters or less. Here is the information that the YouTube is about. And I need something that is going to capture people's attention so they are compelled to click on it. I tell this to my AI friend. By the way, did I tell you the name of my AI? Yeah, I named my AI because capital letter A, capital letter I, it really looks like Al to me. So I named my AI Al. That's my new partner. Okay. So you got to have your expected output. A lot of times when you're asking for, hey, I want 12 items, 12 choices of email subject lines that people are going to click on. And it might give you bulleted list. And then you're like, yeah, but that's difficult to communicate because I need this. Now give it to me in a numbered list. I like number 4. Let's work on some more things that kind of work with number 4. Okay. And AI is kind of cool because you can be kind of vague with it and it kind of figures out who you are and what you're asking for. It's kind of like talking to my wife or my kids. Okay. All right. So you got to delineate your expected output. And number 7, delve into clarifying questions. How many of you actually tell your AI, ask me questions so that you better understand what you're supposed to be doing for me? Many times I will say, here's the information I have. Before you give me an answer, what else do you need to know to give me a better answer? So these are 7 things that you need to do to ask better questions or to be a prompt engineer. All right, now don't laugh at prompt engineering because I think it was about 45 days ago that Netflix posted a job and they were willing to offer $900,000 a year for a prompt engineering manager. Okay, so this is big stuff. Okay, if you've got kids, okay, Joanne, you got a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old, teach them to ask better questions now. Now, prompt engineering may not be a career by the time they're old enough because the AI is going to take that over. But the faster you can teach them to ask better questions, the better they're going to be in life, not just in dealing with the computer and artificial intelligence, but in life. All right, so that's tactic number 5, ask better questions. And that's it. Okay, so Carrie, did I do it?
I love it.
I'm 4 minutes
Yes,
over.
we have time. So any questions or thoughts or clarification? I'm trying to look in the chat to see if we missed anything, but I think they were answering most of your questions. So now's the time to unmute yourself and let us know what you're doing, what questions in general about AI you might have. It could be something we talked about, maybe not. But let's just get a little bit of conversation going if we can. We've had some interaction. We have a lot of people watching live here on EXP Family Tree. They were just answering your questions. No questions from them yet. But you guys, if you are watching and you have a question, just type it below the live stream and I'll ask Chris for you. So unmute yourself. Anybody have anything to say? Some things that they've noticed about AI, how it's helped their business, or anything here that you learned today that would be good for you and your business moving forward? Matthew?
I didn't have my hand raised, but I will say this was really good because I don't use AI, but my son is 25. He's a realtor with me. So he has used Chat GPT and stuff like that. And then my older son's helping us do some YouTube videos. So I did I'm going to have them watch this, but I screen recorded a little bit on my phone, just the part you talking about the YouTube channel. So that was super helpful. And I do already have Bing because I have Microsoft 365. So I'm going to start asking AI to help me get a better understanding how I can use it for certain things. But it was, you covered a lot of stuff today. So I think it was really, really good.
Well, thank you, Matthew. I really appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, I would encourage everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. My goal is to get to 500 subscribers, hopefully be by the end of EXPCon. So it's a big goal, but we're pushing for it. And if everyone who's listening to this does it, we'll get there. Mm-hmm. And don't forget, those of you who are EXP agents watching this on Workplace, go join the AI Adventures work group. Really appreciate it. And let's see, I need to drop my YouTube channel link in here. Oh, do you guys want a little, well, hold it. Okay, I'm going to put my YouTube, my LinkedIn newsletter link in there. Little tech tip. You like tech tips? Just something cool?
Yes.
Did you know that Windows has a clipboard built into it? You know how you can do Control-C for copy? But it'll actually keep like 20 things in there. Most people, they just do Control-C and Control-V. They only get to the last one. But if you hold down the little Windows key and the V, there's a whole bunch of things. So you can go in there and you can find more. Oh, hey, thanks, Millip. Really appreciate you doing that. Let's see where. So I found that one, and I need to add my my YouTube channel. Give me just a second. So ask another question or talk while I go grab my YouTube channel, okay?
Yeah, so stay on top of this. I mean, whatever you guys can do to continue to grow in your AI. I think the Workplace group is great. I'm glad that Chris put that together. Follow him on YouTube, watch a few videos. You know, we're doing masterminds at our co-working space, and a lot of people are talking about how they're using AI, and it really is helping them be better, avoid some of the procrastination when it comes to what do I need to say about in this video? What's my content? How am I putting out a blog? Like all the things that we overthink, because after all, we are real estate professionals. We're not marketing professionals. Many of us didn't go to school for that. We didn't go to school for writing blogs and, sounding fancy and funny and all the things. And yet we do have to be out there competing with others who are doing that. And so one way you can is by leveraging AI, but there's a lot of different cool AIs that I just continue to learn about. I definitely downloaded the app. So that's what I did. That was my takeaway. I'm going to start using Bing and see what it will do for me on the go. So I appreciate that. Anybody else get an aha or a takeaway that they wanted to share? It looks like Chris is chatting in the chat box. So we have all of his information. So make sure you grab that here too before you leave.
Thank you so much. Hey, this has been a lot of fun. And you can't tell that I'm passionate about this, right? I was just like monotone, blah, blah, blah.
No, this is all good because somebody else downloaded the Bing app. So that was probably a good takeaway for most of us. Somebody did say that ChatGPT also has an app. Have you used that, Chris?
I have not. And I'm an Android user. I'm not an Apple user. And so they were talking about the mobile app for Apple. Mm-hmm. But okay, let's talk about bias for just a second, okay?
Apple versus Android.
No, I'm just talking about bias in general. All of us have biases based on our history, our education, all kinds of things. We all have biases, right? And so with just to see how biased or unbiased ChatGPT was when it first came out, I said, pretend, okay, you are a political analyst, and I want you to, and you're a Biden supporter, and I want you to give me 500 words on why Biden should be reelected. And it spit out 500 words, glowing report. It was awesome. And then I said, okay, now you're a Trump supporter. I need 500 words on why Trump should be reelected. And the answer was, I'm a AI, artificial intelligence tool, whatever it is, and I'm not allowed to do this. Seriously. And then finally I coaxed it into doing it, and it would only give me 350 words, and it wasn't a very good expose. So ChatGPT, all this AI stuff, it's very biased. And that's a really important takeaway, is when you are having content created, you need to look at that content, and you need to look at it through your rose-colored glasses, through your worldview, and decide, is this putting words in my mouth that I don't believe? Subtly, there's a lot of nuances and stuff too. You know, I mean, we see this all the time where there's a lot of nuances, and it's like, well, you know, that's okay, but it's not really what I believe. No, edit that crap out of there. Sorry, excuse my French. Edit that carp out of there. Those bad fish, get rid of them. Okay, they stink. Matthew.
I agree. It can be biased. I know just a couple months ago, I had seen on the news where one of the AI personas, right, which was happened to be a female. I don't know if you heard about this, but she actually started apparently falling in love with this guy that was using her. And
yeah,
then
like
she
a
started
New York Times journalist.
Yeah, so she was engaging with him, and then she started talking about marriage and all these things. And the creators of her in the AI had to shut her down. Luckily, they still knew how to, because they said had she kept going, she would have been more brain powerful than them, and she could have blocked it out from stopping her. So that was a big red flag to the creators of AI, that we better learn how to control this before it takes over and blocks us from stopping them get more powerful. It was an interesting article and news story.
Yeah.
Scary.
Same kind of theme, right? Did you hear about the lawyer that had ChatGPT write his legal brief, turned it into the judge, and ChatGPT and all the AI tools, they do something called hallucinating. All right. Kind of like if you smoke mushrooms, you're going to hallucinate. All right. No, but think about it. These artificial intelligence tools are all trained on the internet. Have you ever run across anything on the internet that is not absolutely true? Really? Yeah, it's like there's so much garbage out there. And it's like when you dream, you wake up in the morning from a dream, and it's like, wow, was that real or was that a dream? Because your brain doesn't know always. And imagine being a computer and trying to discern truth from non-truth, fiction from reality, because what's the context it has to know? There's been some interesting sci-fi movies. Was it Stormtroopers or something, where there were these two groups waging war on each other, and they were taking this mind-altering drug, and they actually saw their enemy as like insects when they were really people, but their drug changed their perception of reality. And so you got to think of AI. What does AI know to be truth? What does it know to be untruth? And if you're on the one end of the political spectrum, what you call misinformation, the other end of the political spectrum is going to call truth. And sometimes that truth is actually acknowledged by the people who thought it was misinformation as being truth. We're seeing that sometimes in the news, aren't we?
Mhm.
All right, let's stay away from politics.
But a good example of just making sure that we don't just plug it in and not review the information, and we use it for good, but not just assume that everything that comes out of it is true. Because you're right.
Right.
I mean, it's gathering the information from somewhere. So that's always the reality.
Well, and think of this, as an agent, you have all kinds of laws that you have to respect. AI, if you have it write a listing description, it could write a listing description saying, this is a wonderful home for a woman to raise her children. Okay, you want to be lose your license because you put something like that into a description? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Diana is getting a big kick out of that.
she's like, oh, geez. Oh, Diana has a question.
Okay,
do.
Diana, let's hear it.
I'm laughing too because I use AI for a lot of my listing descriptions, but I do have to go in and adjust because it likes to give it fireplaces and a chef's kitchen when it's, you know, a basic kitchen that is nowhere near a chef's. And so it makes it fun. But I know ChatGPT has started where there's the custom instructions that you can add in, where it kind of gets to know you. Is it best to do kind of those custom instructions and keep it simple, or to do kind of that, hey, I'm a real estate agent in North Idaho, this is my business, ask me, you know, 20 questions so you can get to know my business more kind of situation?
All right, so there's typical people and there's exceptional people like Diana. All right. And so what was tactic number one? Figure out our exceptionalism. And if you want to be exceptional and stand out from the crowd, you're going to take that extra effort. All right. And what I like to do is I create Google documents with different things that because you craft these things over time, right? I'm a wordsmith. I wrote 3 books that were published. I mean, I'm not talking about one of these little books like people say, oh, I wrote an ebook, it's 5 pages long. No, this was like 400 pages long, you know, published, and you could buy it at Barnes and Noble. And so I'm a wordsmith, and I will craft things for information I want to give the AI tool so that it knows what I'm looking for. And I save those in Google documents so that I can go back and I can continue to wordsmith them, and they can evolve over time. But not only that, but ChatGPT is fine, but don't forget, Google now has its tools that it's building into Workspace. Claude, okay, by Anthropic, it's free right now. And some of the things it does better than ChatGPT. And so if you save your prompts and save the descriptions and stuff, then you can transfer those from one tool to another tool as new tools come out, and you don't have to start over. But yeah, using those new descriptors and stuff that they built into ChatGPT, that's definitely something you should be doing at minimum.
Do you have a favorite spot where you go to find your prompts that someone who's thought of those brilliant things already has somewhere, or is that you?
You know, I spend a lot of time, and whenever I'm driving, as long as my family's not in the car, because they don't like to listen to my stuff, I am usually listening to YouTube videos that are educational in nature, not, you know, kittens chasing lasers. All right. I mean, so like, do you want a couple of good channels to follow? Would you like that? All right. Marketing Against the Grain. It's the chief marketing officers from Zapier and HubSpot. And they've got a really good channel. I like their stuff. And they're talking about AI sometimes, but it's more marketing stuff. But they touch on AI quite a bit because it's there and it's having a big impact on marketing. So I like that. Have you guys heard of Matt Wolfe? W-O-L-F-E. I started listening to him when he was really small. Now he's got like 500,000 people following him on YouTube. And he has newsletter that I like too. And he will talk about the tools that he's using. Now, he's not a real estate agent, so he's using different tools than we are a lot of times, because like he still is kind of like me, kind of nerdy, and he likes to code stuff. But there's a lot of interesting things out there, and it's always changing. That's what's really cool about this and exciting, is every week there's something new, and my perspective is changing. If you go to my YouTube channel and you look back at the first presentation that I recorded for a group like this, and you watch it, you'll see it's really different than the presentation that you heard today.
So thank you so much.
Thank you for asking.
Well, this was amazing. Thank you for that. What was the second YouTube channel you said? I got Marketing Against the Grain. I missed the other one.
Oh, Matt Wolf.
Oh yeah. WOLFE, right?
Yeah. And if you want another one that doesn't really, it's not as much AI oriented, but I really like it. It's Think Media. And there's a couple of different channels. His name is Sean Cannell. It rhymes with channel.
Okay.
Sean Channel. He lives in Las Vegas. He's got a huge following, but he talks about doing YouTube videos.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. So these are some YouTube channels you can start to educate yourself on. You know, AI is oftentimes really directly involved with marketing. So continuing to just stay on top of your game and fill your mind with these sorts of things to help you grow your business is critical. You guys come back and come back and join us next Wednesday for our mastermind. As always, if you're interested in revenue share, don't forget about our huddle on Monday. We do have a guest. We are here for you guys to continue to just grow and learn together. We really, really appreciate your time today. And Chris, we are going to go ahead and join the workplace group and follow you on YouTube. I chatted that in the workplace under the live stream as well, you guys. So if you're watching live there, you can find it. Thanks so much for your time. And thanks you guys for being here.
Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate being here.
Bye, guys.